from 3,000 in his career. No better way to hit a milestone than on Labor Day Monday. Dedrick Mills with 738 rushing yards this season. Good for second in the league. 9 rushing TDs, which is tied for first in the league. On the other side, Justin Rankin has been a problem for opposing teams. 94 all-purpose yards last week, 179 the week before. What can he do on this huge stage? It is once again the Battle of Alberta wrapping up Labor Day weekend. Kate Burness alongside Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez. Milt Steele cannot wait for this one. Absolutely no pressure after the first 2 games. And a big name returning to this one, Milt Steele, your key matchup.
Yeah, Adam Big Hill versus Justin Rankin. And this Calgary defense has been special. And you ask yourself sometimes, why would they bring Adam Big Hill on when they haven't, they've been pretty good? Well, I think he adds a different texture to this defense, and so I'm excited to see the matchup between him and Justin Rankin if they get an opportunity to meet in one of those holes.
Yeah, for me, it's Brinkman, Serezna, the interior of Edmonton. They got to dominate the line of scrimmage. That's where they have an advantage. That's where they can slow down the run game, and Dedrick Mills. It's those 2 big fellas in the interior.
I'm going to go with Cody Fajardo and the pressure from that defensive line. And you look at this offense from Edmonton, they don't really put up too many points. They just linger, hang around games, and they try to wait till the end of the game so they can win it. But how is he going to fare? Because if it goes out of hand early, it's going to be a tough night.
The one matchup, another one I'm looking forward to is this game better live up to what these other 2 games did. That's what I'm looking forward to. More than anything else, it better live up to those other 2 games.
What was the better ending, by the way? I haven't even asked you. I think the Hamilton-Toronto ending
the Hamilton-Toronto.
That was wild.
That was the best.
I mean, just with the numbers, oh my goodness, that all those guys put up in that game. Let's get you back to McMahon. It is the Canadian national anthem.
Please welcome today's ceremonial flag party from 41st Canadian Brigade Group from Calgary. Following today's national anthem, there'll be a fly past of 2 CF-18 Hornets from 4-Wing Cold Lake. And now we ask you please rise if you're able, remove your hats, and join Warrant Officer David Grenon from the 17th Wing Royal Canadian Air Force Band in the performance of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras sait porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
The Elks are riding a 3-game winning streak, but the Stampeders perfect against the West this season. A great matchup. Kickoff coming up next. Keith of Edmonton, this is your chance to win big. Thanks to Save on Foods' $1 million touchdown to win. If the kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns, you could win $1 million. Good luck, Joe. It's Dwayne Ford and Dustin Nielsen.
Well, have we saved the best for last on Labor Day weekend? I'm not sure that's possible after the first 2 games, but we'll try. Welcome to Calgary for the Battle of Alberta, everyone. The Elks have won 3 in a row. Coming into this one, Calgary 7-3 on the year. Oh, you feel that, Dwayne? You feel that?
Shook the boot.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Calgary 7-3. Vernon Adams Jr. has been great. Never played on Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, Vernon Adams off to a terrific start to his Calgary Stampeder career. But first Labor Day classic for him as he looks to continue to lead this comeback season for a team that missed the playoffs a year ago. Cody Fajardo finds himself in a similar situation. The Edmonton Elks, he wasn't sure when he'd get to play. It came after 5 games this season. 3-2 record for him thus far.
19 years, almost 2 decades on the other side of this rivalry for Mark Killam. He's got 3 wins. They're heating up, need this one this afternoon. Dave Dickinson's team coming in with wins over Winnipeg and the Riders. Edmonton won the coin toss, deferred. Calgary will take the ball to get us started. How about this? 64th Labor Day meeting, 31-31 and a tie. The rubber match, Dwayne.
Yes, it wouldn't seem right any other way.
Edmonton with the white on white. Calgary in the all blacks. They are 36-12 when wearing black. Debuted them on Labor Day back in '94. We're underway in the Battle of Alberta. They'll take it at the 5, and that'll be brought back by Brooks. He's got a little bit of room here early. Great return. Just shy of the 50. He goes for 44 yards. Let's bring out Vernon Adams Jr.
Well, Vernon Adams was perhaps the most watched acquisition of the entire Canadian Football League offseason. Calgary trading to get him from the BC Lions at the end of 2024. Vernon Adams has delivered in a big way for the Calgary Stampeders. It's not just about statistics, but in terms of changing the whole vibe around this team, Vernon Adams has raised the bar.
A massive roar from the crowd here where VA was introduced. They'll hand it off, still pushing ahead almost up to midfield. Let's take a look at this Calgary starting offense.
Yeah, one change along that offensive line for the Stampeders. Deontay Demurray is out. Rookie Preston Nichols at left tackle makes his first Canadian Football League start. The receiving corps gets some veteran help back. Dom Rhymes playing his 100th CFL game tonight, checks back in along with Tevin Jones, who also missed last week due to injury.
Rhymes has a catch in 63 straight. VA getting his weapons back healthy. And we've got some early movement.
Procedure, Calgary number 64. It's a 5-yard penalty. Will replay second down.
Preston Nichols, who gets the start at left tackle today.
Yeah, get those early jitters out here on the first series. There's always something in the air, it seems, Labor Day here in Alberta.
The players throughout the week saying throw the records out the window. Calgary's been outstanding for most of the year. 7-2 with VA at the helm. Lost the one game he didn't play. Now he gets this one away, coming back to the ball, and hauling it in is Brooks. First down, Stampeders.
And Eric Brooks does a terrific job holding on to this football, working out of the slot. Brooks seeing his opportunity to play here grow in the absence of Reggie Begelton. You see him wrapping around that halfback, coming back to the football. Brooks isn't a big guy, but stabilizes himself to secure that ball as he takes a hit.
Team high 77% catch rate so far this year for the 5'7" Eric Brooks. Adams has that one, got it down, hangs up in the air. Almost came right back to him. Brandon Barlow got his hands on that one. Let's take a look at the Edmonton defense.
Yeah, along that defense, Noah Taylor has stepped into the starting lineup at defensive end in the absence of Robbie Smith. Leads the team with 3 sacks, including 2 last week. Rookie Jalen Garnes has been a nice find at that nickel linebacker spot. He became a starter a couple games into the season. Veteran safety Royce Metier came over from Toronto in free agency, a former Stampeder. Really solidifies the back end. He's the communicator directing traffic back there.
It'll be a 2nd and 10 early here for Calgary. Edmonton will send 5. VA steps up in the pocket. Now looks down the field. Drops it in there. Defended and batted away. He was looking for Brooks sneaking in behind the defense, but it was broken up. And a big play defensively early from Edmonton as they get back and knock it away.
And Vernon Adams stepping up in the pocket. You see Brooks from behind one defender, but nice recovery there from Kenneth Logan Jr. Get back and get a hand in to knock that one down.
Vernon Adams, no stranger to taking a deep shot early. Leak with the return on the far sideline, and we'll get our first look at Cody Fajardo. Turn the season around for Edmonton. He'll have the ball when we return. Cody Fajardo starting the year as the backup quarterback for Edmonton. He's got an opportunity here, and he's making the most of it, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is. Cody Fajardo last week against Ottawa led Edmonton to their third straight victory. You saw the passing numbers there. Obviously, a guy who has always been accurate throwing the football. Also had a Edmonton season high for a quarterback, surprisingly, 57 rushing yards in that win.
Starts here on his own 17 against a tough Calgary defense. They'll hand it off to Rankin. Let's take a look at the Edmonton offense today.
Yeah, along that veteran offensive line, David Beard, primarily a center in his career. He and Mark Cordy have swapped spots. He's playing left guard today, a couple former University of Alberta Golden Bears. Stephen Dunbar out of the lineup, so Benjamin Victor, big receiver out of Ohio State, will get his opportunity to try and fill the void left by the Elks' injured leading receiver.
Dunbar placed on the 6th game, 511 yards. So far this season, a big loss. Fajardo under pressure. He's going to take off, and he's tripped up and caught from behind. And Cody Fajardo could not escape the pressure of Clarence Hicks.
Well, keep an eye on Clarence Hicks. We've seen this from Calgary before, moving the speedy Hicks inside. Miles Brown flips to the outside. A little bit of a delay, and then as he sees Fajardo on the move, he gets on his horse. Trips up the Elks quarterback, forcing this punt.
Hicks, 4th in the league in quarterback pressures with 34. Hutchings and Rimolade also in the top 7. Absolute hounds on opposing QBs. And now this is hammered away by Jake Julian, who just returned from an NFL camp. There's a flag that flies after a 49-yard kick from Julian. Vernon Adams Jr. finally getting a taste of CFL Labor Day action. Welcome back to McMahon Stadium in Calgary, where Vernon Adams is making his Labor Day debut. And it's against a team that he's had some success against in his career.
Yeah, great numbers for VA against Edmonton. Obviously looking to continue that here today. You know, noted that these two teams are in different places in the West Division standings, but the narrative around the Calgary Stampeders all week has been, these guys swept us last year, and that's something that they want to rectify today.
They did not have that guy last year, though, in Vernon Adams. It's a warm one here today, 27 degrees at kickoff, empty backfield for Adams. Tried to take off, now he's on the run, changes the arm angle, gets it away, and finds Barnes just short of the 50, a 19-yard pickup for 14 in black and red.
And this is a big part of the reason why the Calgary Stampeders wanted to acquire Vernon Adams. His mobility in the pocket, that escapability, an innate ability to make things happen when the play breaks down.
Running it on first down this time, right up the middle. And we might see a steady diet of Dedrick Mills today.
Yeah, I think you can count on that from the Calgary Stampeders offensively. Here you see the rushing numbers on the season. Dedrick Mills second in the league at 73.8 yards per game. 10 games into the season for the Calgary Stampeders. physicality of Mills in that offensive line in the run game is a huge part of the Calgary Stampeders' offensive identity.
Mills with 8 rushing touchdowns this year as well. Adams now fakes a couple of handoffs, has all the time in the world, lays one out there too high. And that was a big target as he went to the 6'6" Alford, and he couldn't bring it down.
Yeah, plenty of time in the pocket for Vernon Adams, but I think a lot of this has to do with the approach of Edmonton wanting to remain disciplined, basically not wanting VA to beat them with the scramble, staying disciplined in their rush lanes, not sending blitz in that instance, sort of flooding zones in terms of coverage, trying to shrink those windows. VA's trying to find an open receiver. 3rd and 2,
Calgary is going to go for it. Can they find a couple of yards? It'll be close. Needed to get to the Edmonton 51. I believe he's got it, and he does. First down, Calgary. Quincy Vaughn gets it done.
Yeah, Vaughn's just going to pick out the soft spot, slides to his right, lowers his shoulders to move those sticks. Quarterback / tight end. Quincy Vaughn, Hamilton native, played his college football at North Dakota.
They'll go line up. Tight end spot for Vernon Adams. They work from the Edmonton 51. Hand it off again to Mills. Short pickup on first down.
We talked a little bit last week with Calgary head coach Dave Dickinson, talked to offensive coordinator Pat Delmonico this week a little about that. The way they run the football, that approach. Pat, of course, a longtime offensive line coach, and brings a little bit of that point of view to the way he calls plays, just wanting to make things simple for the offensive line so they can play fast.
2nd and 6. Adams near side has Barnes. Should be enough for a first down. He's wrapped up by Ford, but Calgary will move the chains again. Talked about Mills in the running game. He said the threat of VA running really opens things up and lets them establish that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, creates some opportunities. You know, they've built their receiver run game a little bit. We saw Jalen Philpott in particular involved last week, basically forcing the run defenders to account for every gap, defend 65 yards, sideline to sideline.
7th play of this drive for the home side here on Labor Day. Adams, soft spot in the defense, finds Barnes again. First down, Calgary, and the Stampeders march on. That's the 3rd catch of the ball game for Barnes. This one for 18 yards.
Yeah, Barnes lined up out wide on this one. The former University of Guelph Griffin pushes deep, then sits it down. Terrell Ford out on the corner. These guys saw a lot of each other at college in the OUA. Ford, of course, playing at the University of Waterloo.
Calgary on the verge of breaking inside the red zone for the first time today. Adams on the run to his right, towards the end zone, going back and trying to get it. No, it was Rhymes, and it's ruled incomplete.
Yeah, the ball may have been caught, but Rhymes had gone down and was in contact with the sideline when that ball got to him. So even if he did hold on to it, he was out of bounds. VA once again on the move. It looked like that one took a little bit of a skip in front of him anyway.
So they'll do it again on a 2nd and 10. Adams, far corner, end zone, got it! Drops it in there to Rhymes! Touchdown Calgary, but a flag on the field just outside the 30.
Legal block, hands to the face, Edmonton, number 3. That penalty is declined, result of the play is a touchdown.
Touchdown stands. Calgary strikes first. 22 yards. VA to Rhymes.
If at first you don't succeed, throw it to Rhymes again, and that's what VA does. Two guys who had great chemistry during their time together with the BC Lions. Certainly picking up on that here. As Dominique Rhymes celebrates not only Labor Day, but his 100th career Canadian Football League game with a touchdown catch.
Extending his streak to 64 games in a row with a reception. Paredes for one more. Calgary goes on top. 7-0. What a drive from Vernon Adams. 9 plays, 79 yards in less than 5 minutes to a familiar friend in Rhymes, and quick 6 goes to work.
Dominique Rhymes, the man of the moment. He has the game's first touchdown here in the Battle of Alberta Labor Day Classic. Motions out wide, but also keep an eye on the receiver inside, Tevin Jones, because he's going to impact the coverage here. Rhymes is just going to go down the rail. But when you watch, it looks like Jones on his route is about to bounce outside, and anticipating that, the corner, Tyrell Ford, holds on for a second. He kind of thinks he's going to have to come down. Excuse me, that's Ross out wide on that side. J.J. Ross playing the boundary corner. He's getting ready for that route to bounce out. Rhymes continues down the sideline, using the whole width of that field. It's tough for the halfback, Cordell Jackson, to get all the way out there.
4th touchdown of the year for Rhymes as Calgary on top in the early going. Here's Javon Leak, and he stopped just outside the 20. Cody Fajardo trying to get Edmonton's season officially jump-started at these last 3 victories.
Yeah, I'm talking to Cody Fajardo a little bit just about the coming to a new team, adjusting again to the role of backup, which he played earlier in his career. But, you know, he said he kind of didn't want to overstep early, even though he was the veteran guy, felt it was Trey's team, and he wanted to let it be that.
Hasn't attempted a pass yet in this one. He's going to start here by dropping one in just inside the 40. Calgary's going to say it was bobbles. And now a conversation after a 17-yard throw from Fajardo.
And nice execution there as the run fake gets Clarence Hicks off the edge to bite hard to the inside, allows Fajardo to escape the pocket. Finds Curly Gittins. He appeared to secure that ball before going out of bounds.
It is ruled a catch. Gittins had 115 yards on Labor Day last year. Open man, first down Edmonton, as they get it into the hands of Arkell Smith for the first time this afternoon.
And you'll see how the middle of the field comes wide open for Arkell Smith running the crossing route here. You see Keon Julian Grant in the foreground going towards the flat. That pulls coverage out of the middle. He's opening a hole for Smith, who's basically following in his tracks. Nice pick up there for the Elks.
A quick 34 yards of offense for Fajardo. And Edmonton at midfield here in hostile territory. They'll move Cody to his right, throwing again, and that one misses Julian Grant. Let's take a look at Calgary's starting defense.
Along the D, we've mentioned Clarence Hicks' name a couple of times already. No surprise. Hicks had 2 sacks last week for the Stampeders. Derek Moncrief, like Dominique Rhymes, a veteran leader coming in to join Calgary this season, also playing game number 100 of his CFL career today. And veteran Godfrey Onyeka had his first career CFL interception last week. Spent some time with Edmonton, Saskatchewan, Wilfrid Laurier product from Brampton, Ontario.
Fajardo dumps it off to Rankin. blocking, a spin move, and he'll be about a yard shy of an Edmonton first down. And that's what we've seen from Justin Rankin as of late for the Elks.
Yeah, Justin Rankin, not an easy guy to tackle. Thickly built, low center of gravity, quick feet. Here you see a little juke to the outside, spin inside. Enjoying a terrific season so far. You know, you want to talk about guys who just love the game of football. You get a chance to talk to Justin Rankin, you can absolutely feel it from him.
Almost 500 yards receiving. Snyder into the game, needing a yard for Edmonton, pushing it straight ahead. Great push from that offensive line, and that should be a fresh set of downs for the Elks.
A nice drive here in response to the Stampeder touchdown for Edmonton. Cole Snyder getting an opportunity as the short yardage quarterback, first-year man. Finished up his college career at Eastern Michigan University.
Got introduced to Big Hill there in the middle of that Calgary defense.
Yeah, we'll certainly see a little bit of Biggie today, making his Stampeder debut, fittingly here on Labor Day.
Fajardo's 1-2 on Labor Day. Of course, that would have been with the Riders. Hands it off, room up the middle, another first down as Justin Rankin gets going here on Edmonton's second possession of the ball game. That's a 14-yard carry.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch the duel between these two running backs today, Dedrick Mills and Justin Rankin. David Beard seals Jacob Roberts to the inside. Just a nice north-south run. Rankin does a good job protecting the football there as he goes into traffic.
Calgary allowing 94 yards per game on the ground. That's 6th in the league. Back to Rankin. Finds a little bit of space and another decent pickup. He gets 7 yards on that first down carry.
Rankin did a nice job setting up his blocks on that play, really pressing the point of attack to the outside, forcing the defense to widen, then just sticking a foot in the dirt, hitting it upfield. There you see Adam Bighill into the Calgary Stampeder defense.
Rankin's got 23 yards on 3 carries so far. Will they go back to him here? They do. He's in trouble, and he's going to be taken down on the play. Charles Wiley would have none of it.
Well, Charles Wiley, part of that D-line rotation for the Stampeders. Fighting off his block to wrap up Justin Rankin in the backfield. Wiley also with a sack last week against Saskatchewan.
Blanchard in for a 31-yard attempt right down the middle. That's where he puts it. And Edmonton responds with 3 points of their own after a Vernon Adams touchdown drive just moments ago. Mark Killam's club trailing after the first quarter 4 times this year. They are 1-3 in that situation, and that is what they find themselves in here. We are through 15 minutes in a Battle of Alberta on Labor Day weekend. It is the Calgary Stampeders with a 7-3 lead. Stampeders leading the Labor Day Classic 7-3 over Edmonton. Found a pretty important 3 points for Edmonton, though, after going 2-and-out on their first possession, then giving up that touchdown drive just to put something on the board pretty significant.
Yeah, and a good response to it. A nice long drive, let the offense get into a little bit of a rhythm. Justin Rankin, no surprise to see him involved early, but yeah, Cody Fajardo and the Edmonton offense, I thought, looked very confident on that second drive, and this is a huge test for them. This is a Calgary team that in their remaining 8 games, both these teams have 8 games left, 3 of them against each other.
Of course, they met 3 times last year as well. Edmonton taking all 3 of those. That was the first sweep in the season series for Edmonton since 2002. Can their defense slow down Vernon Adams and the Calgary offense, and they go right back on the ground to Dedrick Mills.
Yeah, you see history. I love the even record between the 2 teams. 63 games in. Stampeders winning 10 of the last 12, but not last year, not the most recent one. First Labor Day meeting was 1949. Our statistician Dave Moyer was at that game, celebrating his college graduation.
Calgary won 8 in a row from 2012 to 2019. Another carry and a first down for the Stampeders as Mills starts to cook here a little bit. Yeah, Calgary won 8 in a row, and then in the last 4, they've split them 2-2.
Yeah, and the Elks looking not just to win their second consecutive Labor Day game, but also looking for their first win against West Division opponents this season. Stampeders at the other end of the spectrum, undefeated within the division this year.
Calgary is 5-0 versus the West. Edmonton 0-4. Back to Mills, finds some space, and another first down. As Dedrick Mills with the response to what we just saw from Justin Rankin on that last drive.
Yeah, like I said, these guys are a couple of headliners in this ball game. From my perspective, you're going to see Dedrick Mills take this one back to the right. Things clogged up front side. Spends it back and gets himself going. Terrific season being enjoyed by the 4th-year Stampeder out of the University of Nebraska.
Calgary quickly moving the ball down the field. Now they'll get it out on the flats. Philpott for the first time today. A couple of blocks, picks up 4 yards.
Jalen Philpott stepping into a larger role in terms of leadership on this team this year. Well, there's still veteran guys, other veteran guys like Dom Rhymes, Tevin Jones, those guys coming over in free agency, but now in his 4th season, Jalen Philpott, I think, really establishing himself after a 600-plus yard season last year.
Edmonton will send some heat. Might have been too early, though. VA gets taken down, but there are multiple flags on the field.
Offside, Edmonton number 50. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay second down.
DeBlanco, first overall pick back in 2024.
Yeah, he's trying to time up the blitz. Here looking to hit this running, and was just a little bit early on that one. Blanco out of the University of Cincinnati.
Second and a yard. Quincy Vaughn in to handle the short yardage. Not as big a push as he got last time. See where they spot this ball. Battle of, not necessarily a battle because they don't see each other too much out there based on their position, but Alford, first overall pick in 2025. Yes. DeBlanco, the first overall pick in 2024. And it is a first down for Calgary.
Certainly nice to see both those guys getting an opportunity to play early in their careers. DeBlanco playing mostly on special teams last season for the Elks, but with the injury to Nick Anderson, he's stepped into the lineup.
Empty backfield this time for VA. 2 to the left, 4 out to his right. Comes to Barnes. Barnes has it. DeBlanco is there, and he and J.J. Ross will combine on the tackle after a 3-yard pickup for Barnes.
Yeah, Clark Barnes only had one catch last week in the win over Saskatchewan. So good to see the third-year Stampeder receiver involved early here. Wanko demonstrating his range, getting out there on the perimeter to make a play.
Mills stands to the right of his quarterback. Adams with time, now on the run, out to his right, and has to throw it away. Noah Taylor with the pressure on Adams, and it'll be a field goal attempt for Paredes.
Big stand there from the Edmonton defense. Noah Taylor continuing to have an impact. Guy that Mark Killam kind of pushed for a little more from in the early going this season, and Taylor certainly has responded.
Paredes just 75% on the year. A bit of a down year for the veteran and one of the all-time greats, and he's able to smooth this one through. Calgary goes on top. 10-3. A good contingent of Elks fans here at McMahon today, some of them from southern Alberta. For more on that, let's send it down to Tom Gazzola.
Yeah, they're loud too, Dusty. They're up in corner section X right now, and one of that contingent is Nathan Monroe. He is Mark Killam's best friend going back to 5th grade. Nate Dogg, as Mark Killam refers to him as, gathered up about 40 plus, got a party bus, and made sure they made the trek up to Calgary from Lethbridge. About a 2-hour trek, of course. Killam helped hook up the tickets, also got them some green and gold swag, bringing a little bit of good karma to his old pal in hostile territory.
Killam's fired up for this game, isn't he?
Tell you what, that's a good friend.
Here goes Fajardo, a little fired up himself all the way to midfield. 16 yards for Fajardo.
Yeah, Cody Fajardo, a great running quarterback going back to his days at the University of Nevada playing in that pistol offense. Talked to us a little bit about that this week. I mentioned earlier the 57 rushing yards last week. Cody's a guy, doesn't do it as often, but can certainly still get it done with his legs.
Nate Dogg approves. That one in behind Grant and falls incomplete. Anthony Johnson was lurking there.
Trying to hit Keon Julian Grant on a little bit of a slant. Ball sails just to the outside. He's unable to pull it down.
Fajardo, 9,000 passing yards, 3,000 rushing yards in Nevada. Before him, the only other guy to do it was the guy he replaced there, Colin Kaepernick. And an offense that obviously like to have their quarterbacks move. Here's Fajardo now, near side. And that will be caught close to a first down for the Ohio State grad, Benjamin Victor.
And Benjamin Victor again in the lineup in place of the injured Stephen Dunbar. Nice route here as you're going to see him push the defender deep, stem to the inside. Little comeback along the sideline to move the sticks. Oh, no, just short of moving the sticks.
Yeah, about, we're talking inches here. Snyder back into the game for Edmonton. Doesn't need much. That'll do it. First down, Elks, and they'll keep this drive alive.
Fajardo in the regular offense checking back in after Snyder converting another short yardage opportunity. Javon Leak, outstanding returner, now into the game in the backfield as well.
Leak's had 36 carries this year for 158 yards, averages about 4.4 yards per carry. Does not have a rushing touchdown yet this season. 2 punt returns, though. Fajardo quickly. Gittins went up for it. Could not haul it in. Cody not happy with himself on that miss.
Yeah, Cody knows he's got to get the ball out quickly. There's a blitz coming off his backside. Sails a little bit. Nonetheless, one of the things that Cody Fajardo has brought to this Edmonton Elks offense has been his accuracy under pressure.
Edmonton at 0 for 4 on second down so far in this one. Calgary just sends for Fajardo as he's falling back, gets it away, finds a man on the far side, goes back to Giddens, and he's got it for a first down. Like Cody put everything he had into that one.
Yeah, that was two guys working hard to make it happen. Cody Fajardo has got to step into that throw as best he can with a defender in his face. But watch how Curly Giddens fights back to the football. Get the arms underneath it, pull it in before he hits the sideline. Great catch.
Seventh play of the drive for Edmonton. They'll give it to Leak, and he's tracked down from behind. Short gain, 2 yards.
Javon Leak, you mentioned no rushing touchdowns yet this season, but had his second punt return touchdown of the year last week in Ottawa.
6th career punt return touchdown, puts him 10th all time. He remains in there to the left of Fajardo. Good crowd here at McMahon trying to get behind this Calgary defense. Fajardo near sideline. Nice move. Down inside the 20. That'll be a first down as he goes to O.J. Hilaire for the first time.
Yeah, Hilaire, second year in the Canadian Football League, spent some time on the practice roster in Hamilton last season. Former Bowling Green Falcons star in his college days. Spent a little bit of time in the National Football League with the Atlanta Falcons as well.
First trip to the red zone today for either team. Bobble snap, where's that ball? Calgary on it. Fajardo not happy. Stampeders defense takes over. Disaster for the visitors. Let's get another look at this. Ball never even got to Cody. Onyeka's got it.
Oh, that one, the snap hit big Phil Grahovic, who was in the game as an extra blocker. He's going to be in motion here. And what I think happens on this one, Dustin, is, you know, you're a 300-plus pound guy. To get moving, you're trying to anticipate the snap count. And I think he just jumped that one a little bit too early. Got dinged.
Edmonton, surprisingly, looked after the football for the most part this year. Another great run by Mills. That ball pops out. It's up for grabs. And who's going to be on this? Mills might have been down when that ball came out. It's going to be Edmonton ball. Did they just get it back? We'll have to get another look at this. There's Mills. Let's see. He was down. Dedrick Mills and Calgary's offense remains on the field after they took a look at it. They do say that Mills was down, which we thought was going to be the call. He was down before this ball came out, and it's pretty clear.
Yeah, there you see as he lands on his back.
Goes for 13 yards. Mills is already up to 60 on just 7 touches. First and 10, Stampeders on their own 34. Adams, far side, and that is deflected just in time. Cordell Jackson got a hand on it.
A nice lunging play here from the halfback, Cordell Jackson.
second on the team in tackles. A couple of sacks from the halfback position. That's his 4th knockdown of the year. Does not have an interception so far this season. Deep drop from VA. Hangs in there, gets it away, and that will be incomplete. So after the turnover, Edmonton's defense will get off the field. There is a Elks defender down on one knee, slow to get up, and that's bad news. Jake Serezna will have to be helped off. He was having issues with one of his legs earlier in the season.
Yeah. Yeah, and oddly, Serezna is going to come off the edge on this play. He got taken down as he was rushing the quarterback. You'll see as he gets up, he's up for a second, and then he went right back down as if the leg kind of gave on him. So yeah, it was some trouble with a knee. He left the game against Montreal in Edmonton earlier in the season.
Mark Bassett stands on his own 20. And he boots this away. That'll be taken at the 20, a 55-yard kick. Javon Leake taken down after a short return.
Major foul, clipping, Edmonton, number 51. That's a 15-yard penalty. It's going to be first down for Edmonton.
That's a big one. 15 yards. Back them up.
And making a long field a little bit longer here for the Edmonton offense.
Alice Wright, Beta, Kansas, from Switzerland. The guilty party there. We have 5 special teams tackles on the season. Fajardo in the shadow of his own goalpost here. Hand off, Leak, nowhere to go. Interesting, we're seeing Leak in back-to-back possessions here after Rankin looked really good the last time he was out. And I know they mixed them up a little bit, but I don't know if you usually see Leak back-to-back like this.
And wonder at all if there might be an injury for Rankin or if it's just a matter of trying to manage his workload.
I think he's standing on the far sideline there, looking at the play sheet right now. So he's all right. They're giving Leak some work. Rankin has carried the ball 88 times coming into this game. Leak just 36. Rankin has had a couple of monster outings recently.
Yeah, and we mentioned that dual threat back that he has really become here in his 2nd CFL season. See the big numbers, not just running the football, but catching it out of the backfield as the Elks just try to find as many ways as they can to get the ball into the hands of one of their most reliable weapons.
Cody Fajardo looking for an important 10 yards here. Trying to find some breathing room. Over the middle, finds a man just outside the 20. Back to Gittens Jr. again. Team leading 3rd catch of the game for Curling.
And you'll see the poise. Cody Fajardo standing in there. Gittens coming out of the slot. And just understanding zone coverage, finding the soft spot. As you said, a little bit of breathing room for the offense.
16 more yards to Gittens. He's got 46 on 3 catches. There's Rankin. They'll give it back to him, and he pushes it out just shy of the 30. Gets 6 yards on that first down touch. And that will take us to the 3-minute warning here at McMahon on Labor Day. Calgary Stampeders defense that has been so good all season. Pretty stingy thus far as they lead 10-3 late in the first.
Coming up at the half, we've got a little love for Edmonton's D, Vernon Adams Jr., and of course Diedrich Mills, by the way, too. Are you ready for it?
Let's hear it.
Straight fire! Who is that guy? Who is that guy?
Coming out of nowhere.
Panel pretty excited. Rankin's got a first down through the air this time.
Yeah, just as we see that catch by Justin Rankin, I want to say, you know what I was excited about this weekend? The unveiling of the new hat on the great Miltradamus. I thought his headgear this weekend was outstanding.
You know you're hitting on all cylinders when you can work props
Yes.
into a show.
Yes.
Right? You're comfortable. It's going well. Elks from their own 35. Just under 3 minutes to work. Fajardo had some time, felt some pressure, takes off on the run, and he's got some room. Cody outside the 50 before he slides. 16 more yards for Fajardo, and that's something Calgary might have to start focusing on.
This to me is vintage Cody. This reverse pivot escape. He feels that pressure coming. Kind of pretends like he doesn't, reverses out of it. And he had a route going vertically. You see Arkell Smith, I think, was his outlet route there. As he went upfield, he got a defender's back turned. Micah Tights, the linebacker, turned to chase him. Created a running lane for Fajardo.
Rankin in trouble this time, taken down in the backfield. Clarence Hicks tackled for a loss. His 5th of the season.
Yeah, we saw Clarence Hicks show flashes last year, but he has really emerged here in his 2nd CFL season. You see the quickness darting inside the tackle. Brent Boyko knifing down into the backfield to make the play.
Hicks just 6'2", 229. But that size allows him to have the quickness that's just been a nightmare all season for quarterbacks. Fajardo near side, drops it in there. Hilaire will be short of the first down, and they'll be forced to kick it away with 2 minutes remaining in the half. On a drive that started, I believe, back on their own 7. They get the ball up to midfield and will now be kicking it deep as opposed to maybe to midfield if they didn't pick up that first down.
This is it. A lot of positives when you talk about swinging the field, particularly with Jake Julian back on their roster, punting the football, a chance to push Calgary deep in their own end as opposed to giving them an opportunity to perhaps start the possession in Edmonton territory.
Jake Julian has his one bounce. Picked up with a little bit of room. Good burst from Brooks. He's out of bounds. Well, have no fear. Vernon Adams Jr. is here. And it is a true underdog story, isn't it?
Well, you look at the path that Vernon Adams has traveled. Fantastic college career at Eastern Washington. Then on to Oregon. His rights traded by the BC Lions to Montreal. That was where he started his career. Bounced around a little bit before a second tour of duty in Montreal. Then traded to BC despite having a winning record. Winning record in BC. And he is traded again. But he looks pretty good as a Cowboy.
Hey, Stampede Bowl championship trophy right there. Just 7 of 14 so far in this one. Goes to his running back, Mills. Let's go back to VA. It's his first Labor Day game in the CFL, but he's no stranger to rivalries.
When I was at Eastern Washington, we played University of Montana. That was like our rival, you know, and we played them every year. It was always packed either over there or at Eastern Washington. I'm 4-0 against those guys. So, hopefully we could get something started here.
Wow, Montana fans must hate Vernon Adams Jr.
Well, I know one Montana fan who loves him, and that's his head coach, Dave Dickinson, who played at the University of Montana.
2nd and 4 for VA. That one low and incomplete. Philpott tried to go down and get it, but he could not. And Calgary will be forced to kick it away with 1:42 on the clock.
A quick stop there from the Edmonton defense as that one comes in a little bit low for the intended target, Jalen Philpott.
First 2 and out of the game for the Stampeders comes late here in the first half. Bassett will come back in, averaging 49.2 yards per punt so far this season. Javon Leak awaits. A little bit of a shorter kick, and that flies way out of bounds. This weekend only. Scan the QR promo code on the screen to get Crave, starting at $3.99 per month for your first 3 months, and stream the biggest blockbuster movies, hit series, and HBO exclusives all in one place. Crave, proudly Canadian.
Well, you talked, Dustin, about the importance of a couple of first downs for the Edmonton Elks on their last possession before punting the football. They had that success on that drive. They punt the ball, force a 2 and out for Calgary, punt out of bounds and a penalty. Big net gain for Edmonton on the exchanges of the football.
Yeah, we're looking at a change of 24 yards here. Net 24 yards on that punt. Fajardo, pressure in his face, got it away. Arkell Smith hammered down by Jacob Roberts.
Just looking for a quick hitter to Smith, releasing from behind the line. Roberts doing a good job tracking him out there. A great chat with Jacob Roberts this week, enjoying his first full season in the Canadian Football League, among the league's leading tacklers.
2nd and 8 for Fajardo. On the run to his right, throws it back to the 50. And that'll be about a yard, maybe a yard and a half short of a first down. Roberts told us he didn't know how wide the field was until he got here in Calgary, which is funny.
Yeah, didn't know a ton about it. You know, Jacob talked about the fact that he's been fueled by doubters through much of his career. This is a guy who got cut from his high school football team as a freshman, didn't get his first Division I college offer until late in his high school career.
Third gamble of the day for Edmonton. Snyder takes it again. And that looks like it will be enough.
And Jacob Roberts starting his college career off at smaller school, North Carolina A&T, before entering the transfer portal after he'd graduated and moved on. Had a lot of offers at that point from Power 5 schools, decided to go to Wake Forest. He completed his career, great success.
Came into this game with 17 more defensive tackles than anybody else on the team. Been all over the place this year for Calgary's defense. Fajardo taking off again and a slide again. And a flag at the end of this one from Ben Major. Contact on the legs of Cody as he finished the slide, Dwayne.
Yeah, and this is one I always empathize a little bit with the defensive players, because you've got to play. You don't know for sure.
Foul, roughing the passer. Calgary, number 48. It's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So it's not tight. It was Roberts.
Roberts was called, but I think if you look at both of the players, and this happens. It's the right call. It's the right call given what the rule is. I'm okay with the call, but I feel for the defensive players because you can't let up. What if he doesn't slide? And you've got to play. And I think both of them tried to ease up on the hit as much as they could, but by that point they were committed to the hit. The noise you heard was them hitting each other.
Fajardo leads his team in rushing so far today. Calgary's going to bring a bit of heat. Fajardo, end zone shot. No! Tries to find Julian incomplete. 26 seconds on the clock in the second quarter.
Okay, Julian Grant, number 2 receiver, coming from the slot. He's working against Jaden Grant, the rookie out of Oregon State. You just see him trying to locate that ball. Just got twisted around, unable to get there.
Fajardo, 11 of 15 for 113 yards. Looking for another completion here. Back to the end zone again, lays it out there, and it's incomplete. Looking for Gittens that time. And Curley never really had a play on it. And it'll be 3rd down and a field goal attempt for Blanchard.
Yeah, I think Cody knew. You see the pump fake there. The defense didn't really bite on it, but I think Cody knew he wanted to take the deep shot on this one. Try and get that ball into the end zone before the half.
32-yard attempt for Blanchard to make it a 4-point game. That is up, and it's not even close. Through the end zone, and they'll have to settle for 1. Calgary crowd loves it.
Tough way to end the drive for the Edmonton Elks. That one sails wide right. The rookie kicker, Vincent Blanchard.
Looks like he just pushed it a little bit, coming off the foot. Justin Sambu heading to the room a little bit early for Calgary. 14 seconds for Adams. He's going to throw down the field, and that is broken up, but there's a flag. Pass interference on J.J. Ross. And with 8 seconds left, they're bordering on
pass interference. Edmonton, number 29. Range. It's going to be 1st down Calgary at the spot of foul.
Yeah, and I think this is a shot that Vernon Adams takes, knowing it's a risky throw. You see all the white jerseys very close to that football as it's on its trajectory. But close enough to draw that flag. Give the Stamps a big gain here as the first half ticks down.
After Blanchard missed from inside 40. That was his first miss from inside 40 all season. And now Calgary will try to set Paredes up for one just inside 50 yards. Paredes is 7 for 12 from outside 40 so far this year. Made one earlier from 33. This one from 49, just inside the left hash. Pass at the hole. Paredes puts it up, and the veteran makes no mistake. He knocks it home, and Calgary on top by 9 at the half.
A big 6-point swing to end the half there. Missed field goal by Edmonton. Penalty helps put Calgary in field goal range. The veteran Paredes puts it through.
Cordell Jackson getting into it with the kicker a little bit.
Stirring it up a little bit.
So Calgary leading 13-4 here at the half. Dedrick Mills pretty much as advertised so far this season. 8 carries, 64 yards.
Yeah, Dedrick Mills. And that offensive line looking to set the tone early, and I think they certainly accomplished that. Committing to putting the ball in his hands, and Mills, as he has done all season long, continues to deliver, and he is now with our Tom Gazzola on the sideline.
Thanks, Dwayne. Diedrich, Dwayne was just talking about you guys committing to the run. What's working for you guys offensively right now?
I mean, everybody's just coming together, whole line, holding it down on the front line, just doing the dirty work and just getting the blocks done, making the blocks happen, and just opening the gaps up for me so I can run through them.
How about that swing late in the half where you guys hold them to 1 and then you guys go back and get that field goal? How big of a momentum shift is that?
I mean, that was a big momentum shift. We just all came together on the sideline and just realized, we're a team and we just got to play together and just keep pushing and chopping away at the wood.
Thanks for the time, Diedrich.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, let's set it up to Kate and the panel.
Chop wood, carry water. That's what we say every single day on the panel. By the way, what happened to Diedrich Mills' fiery interviews?
He's calm down. Somebody said something to him.
They had to. Something had to be said because he is just. You know what? Good on him. He's had a phenomenal first half. Back alongside Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, Milt Stiegel, and let's start with Mills right now. We've spoken about him so many times. He can just absolutely take over a game. That's what he's done really in this first half. 60 yards on the ground. He's been great.
He's been absolutely great for this team, and the reason why this team is really good. Yes, you have Vernon Adams Jr. You have some great weapons offensively, but they are so balanced, and we know about their defense. But Diedrich Mills plays such a huge role. 3rd in the league right now in rushing rushing right now, but he does such a good job. So in a game like this, where Vernon Adams Jr. is not playing necessarily terribly, but he's not also playing great. So you got a guy that you can just turn around, hand the ball off to, and he'll get the yardage to make the offense look productive and get some yardage as well. And he's doing a great job of continuing to just get the sticks moving. And it's hard on the defense. He's putting pressure on the defense every single time he touches the ball. And as well, he can make plays out of the backfield. So he can run the ball, but he can also make the plays out of the backfield to put pressure on the defense. And then at the end of the game, Vernon Adams Jr. can take it home. But with the way that it's going right now, with the quick start that they're having in Calgary, he's going to get busier and busier as this game progresses.
Well, and you're talking about VA a little bit there, too. And you're right. He hasn't played horribly, but I give credit to Edmonton's defense so far. I mean, VA's only got a 50% completion percentage right now, 91 yards. And we thought we'd see this, high-flying game, and we might see this in the second half. But credit to the Elks D. They've been great, too.
They've been playing some great football. And one of the most polarizing statements in football is defenses win championships.
It's a true fact.
It's not. Defense can keep you in the game, but you got to score some points. But this defense is definitely keeping these Elks in the game. It's allowing this offense to possibly come out in the second half and do some things, because so far they haven't been able to. But this defense is doing some great things. And, Kate, you mentioned it. This is a high-power offense. VA, we know what he can do. We know what Diedrich Mills can do. But this defense right now is allowing this team to have an opportunity to come out and make some plays in this second half. And the last 5 games, that's what they've been doing. Yes, they didn't win those first 2. They've won the last 3. And the big thing has been the play of this defense. They're holding opposing teams to 22 points a game. And as long as they do that, they have an opportunity to win each and every game.
Yeah, and this Edmonton offense and Cody Fajardo over this win streak, they've been really efficient. Let's give him credit. I think he's the 3rd highest rated quarterback over the last 3 weeks with his efficiency, but they're not explosive. And this is what I would like to see more of with Edmonton. I would like to see them look around the West. And a lot of these plays right now, we're seeing horizontal plays, and Cody's doing a great job of taking what the defense gets him. He's, again, crossing routes, screens. You saw, I think, coming up here, you see him elude the rush and make a play. One thing about Cody, that's a nice throw. Again, horizontal, but a very nice throw, fading away. This is the one where he eludes the rush. This guy, one thing about Cody, he's an instinctual football player. He finds ways to get it done, and that's why they've had this win streak. But look around the West, guys. Like the playmakers in BC, in Winnipeg, in SAS, the quarterbacks, the receivers. If you want to be a playoff team in the West and you're Edmonton, you got to get the ball vertically down the field. You got to find a way. Mark Killam is a special team background, so he probably doesn't mind this ball control, play good special teams, and win that way. But I don't think you're getting out of the West or make it in the West if you don't find an explosive pass game.
And, I'll give kudos to Cody in this one, too. A lot of the time we talk about how long he hangs on to the ball or maybe he takes a sack. In this one, too, he's going for it on a lot of these plays. So I think this should be a fascinating second half. But first, coming up next, you know what it is.
I'm not saying no.
Stop yelling.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars
weekend so far. Kicked off with the Blue Bombers and the Rough Riders. Picked up late in the fourth. Riders up by 7 on third down. Trevor Harris with the punch goes all the way to the 1. Dietrich Nichols plays it. He's tackled in the end zone. Now it's called a safety, but after review it was changed to a single. Do we all agree that this is a safety?
That's a safety.
Absolutely.
You don't know?
That's a safety.
Safety.
That's a safety. Safety.
No question.
All right, dying seconds, let's go. Bombers first and goal. Zach Claros finds Dalton Chowan for the score. We've got ourselves a 2-point game. The ensuing convert.
To the house.
Claros looking for Chowan again.
TC.
Stop by Tavon Campbell flying down the sideline.
I thought this was fast forward. That's how it's moving.
Did you see that Zach nearly caught him?
Zach, no, rewind. Zach almost
I
stopped.
can't rewind. I don't have that type of power around here. Anyways, great first game there. Sass takes it. Argonauts, Tiger Cats. I said that was a great game. You should have seen the ending of this one. Final minute. Shortly after Hamilton takes the lead, Nick Arbuckle, he hits Deshaun Brissett.
Great catch.
Double coverage.
Get out of bounds.
And then he's on the loose. Time's winding down. Get out of bounds. No. Oh, but guess what? He didn't make it. He didn't get quite enough for the touchdown, but upon review, there was 1 second left on the clock. He's out of bounds. So that means that Liram Hairolahu gets to put through the field goal. This was an absolutely wild affair. The Toronto Argonauts take it 35-33, your final of that one. And we're hoping the second half of this game that we're watching lives up to both of those. But in the meantime, you know what? You love it. It's one of our favorite segments on the network. Ches loves it the most.
Let's go,
It is time for Straight Fire. Let us begin with the ladies. And this is the reason I come to work, is I got to read these amazing highlights from these incredible women. And we begin now with Team Canada taking on Japan. Women's World Games, Sarah Parker. Whoop! Finds
one-handed catch?
Joubert. It was not a one-handed catch. I was told it was a one-handed catch.
It looked
but
like
it's a heck of a catch. But I'll tell you this, look at the throw. Oh, beautiful touchdown. Canada goes on to win bronze.
Oh, is this me right here? Oh, yeah, right here. This is the Guelph Griffins, Jared Tessier. This is a great catch. Tracks the ball, comes down with it, survives contact. Unfortunately, lost to the Laurier Golden Hawks. Laurier's 2-0, baby.
And that is what?
Straight Fire!
Let's go to some CJFL. Saskatoon Hilltops running back David Collins takes the ball, spins off a would-be tackle, keeps going.
Give it to him, baby. Give it to him.
And is he going to make it all the way for a touchdown? He had 157 yards and 2 TDs and a win over Edmonton.
Well, you know how hot Straight Fire is? We're hot and even Abu Dhabi. Yeah, baby. We go across the world. And how about Calgary's own CFL fan Ryan Keenan with the big catch? 11,000 kilometers away, baby. And that right there is what?
Straight Fire! Don't forget, you can submit your highlights. Obviously, they're coming in from all around the world now, and you can submit them to straightfire@bellmedia.ca. By the way, we had a Straight Fire sign in Calgary when they were playing the Rough Riders there, too. So I'll tell you this, if you make a Straight Fire sign, we're probably going to show it on TV as well. I don't know if we're allowed to say things like that, but
yes, we are.
There we are. Quick Six doing a little bit of work today, because these Stampeders up 13-4.
Welcome back on a beautiful Monday in Calgary, where the Stampeders look to continue to roll, and their defense is doing it again, holding Edmonton to just 4 points in the opening half. How is Edmonton going to turn this around and find some points? Head coach Mark Killam standing by with our Tom Gazzola.
Mark, lots has been made of Calgary's defense, but how's your defense holding up in this one so far?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're hanging in there. They got, cheap 3 points at the end because we took a pass interference. We just got to settle down and play our brand of football. That was nowhere near as good a football as we want to play. We've got to execute better on offense, and we've got to stop taking penalties and helping them out.
Cody said you guys are a fourth quarter team. How comfortable do you feel your group is in this situation?
Yeah, I feel comfortable with the guys. We just had to regroup and come out and play our style of football.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
All right, Edmonton will try to find their style of football. The one thing you can't do against Calgary is turn the ball over. They're going to have to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, and you said it at the time, Dustin. It's one of the things that Edmonton, fortunately, has done very well this year is they've taken pretty good care of the football.
Fewest turnovers in the league.
Yeah, it's just the flip side of it is that they haven't been able to generate many. Not a lot of sacks, not a lot of turnovers. I mean, the curious defensive stat for the Edmonton Elks is you've got a defensive back in Cordell Jackson, second on the team in sacks. You've got a defensive tackle, Jake Ceresna, tied for the team lead in interceptions.
We are underway. Second half, Labor Day Classic between Edmonton and Calgary. Leak on the return. Interesting first half for Cody Fajardo. He was not sacked, but he was under quite a bit of pressure.
And Cody able to escape and make some plays using his legs on a few occasions in this one, but you knew. I mean, the reputation of the Calgary Stampeders has kind of been established through the first half of this season, is that front is going to do a pretty good job getting after opposing quarterbacks.
3 of the top 7 quarterback pressure defensive players in the league are on that defensive line for Calgary. Sloag obviously has them working again here today. Edmonton's going to start it on the ground with Rankin for 4 yards.
And you talk to other teams around the league and you ask them, you know, what is it that the Calgary Stampeders have done so well defensively? And I mean, the response, defensive coordinator Bob Slowick keeps it pretty simple for them, which allows these guys to play fast. And there you see the fruits of their labor. Just 15 offensive touchdowns allowed, fewest in the league so far.
And of course, nothing in the first half. Fajardo, Rankin, wide open, turns it upfield, and will be pushed out around the Edmonton 50. So the dual threat, Rankin, involved early here in the third quarter.
They just get Rankin open out to the flat, let him pick up what he can. That, in this instance, is enough for the first down.
$16 yards to Rankin. Fajardo, pressure in his face, trying to find Rankin in a crowd as he had McKellar out in front with Cordy. Could not find the ball.
Yeah, the convoy was set up in front of Justin Rankin for the screen. You're going to see the running back is just going to turn out. You mentioned the center, Cordy guard, McKellar. They're getting out in front of them, looking to pick up their blocks. But that throw came in a little bit hot.
Looks like Clarence Hicks. He got a hand on it. Disrupting things again. 2nd and 10 for Fajardo. Cody down the field looking for Julian Grant, and it's over his head and incomplete. A little bit too much zip on that one from Fajardo.
Okay, and Julian Grant, wide side slot on this play. He's going to take the middle on this one. Cody Fajardo steps up looking for the deep shot here. They've got the safety held up on the other side, but just unable to connect. See Damon Webb trying to get back there from his safety spot. Jaden Grant in pursuit.
Julian, who set a CFL record last year with a 54-yard per punt average. And there's a flag back by the kicker. This is going to be returned by Brooks. He's chopped down by DeBlanco. But Julian taken down. Charles Wiley appears to be the guilty party. Let's get the call.
We got contact in the kicker. Calgary, number 93. It's a 10-yard penalty. Makes it a first down for Edmonton. TV timeout.
Wiley is furious.
Clearly not liking the call. We'll take a second look here. I understand some of Charles Wiley's disbelief from that angle, as I believe the Oscar goes to Jake Julian. He sold it. I don't think there was a whole lot of contact on that one.
There was not much there.
Or at least there was contact, I should say, not a lot of force, which I know can be hard to tell at full speed for the officials. But I think a tough call there for the Stamps.
Wiley's frustration justified. A second opportunity on this possession for Edmonton. Can they take advantage of it? Rankin, he's going to be in trouble. That's shut down immediately. Webb finishes the play.
Well, when you look at the way this Calgary Stampeder defense was constructed, and that, you know, the panel talked about this prior to this ball game. Definitely a lot of new faces, a lot of young guys playing with all sorts of energy, but veterans at every level. You know, you bring in a Flo Remolade on the D-line, a Derek Moncrief, now Adam Bighill in the linebacking core, Damon Webb on the back end. They've helped bring the young guys along.
Fajardo's got to find 11. Gets it away quickly, and he's almost got 11. Gets it into the hands of Victor. Looks like he'll be marked about half a yard short. Full yard short. And Snyder will come back on for the 3rd and 1.
Yeah, you see the big target that is Benjamin Victor. Just on the outside. Second time he's been just short. And a second down conversion attempt.
3 for 3 on short yardage today. Snyder only needed the 40. And that initial push looks like he got the job done. And it is a first down, Edmonton. And they've managed to put together some of these drives, but they cannot finish the job, right? Which is Calgary. I mean, that's their calling card this year. They don't allow touchdowns, but this is the 9th play of this drive. You really just don't want to settle for an attempted field goal here.
Yeah, no, this is it. And, you know, I know Ches talked about it a little bit at halftime, is sometimes you need to score via the big play. You can't always rely on the 10-play drive.
Fajardo down the field. Arkell Smith went up, but he could not come down with it. Jaden Grant with the defense for the Stampeders.
Jaden Grant coming up big on a few occasions in this ball game on the back end, where you see him ranging out from his halfback spot to make that play along the sidelines. Grant and Sheldon Arnold, 2 rookies. Week 1 starters at those defensive halfback spots for the Calgary Stampeders.
Edmonton will work from the Calgary 40. Rankin out in the slot to the right for Fajardo. He goes to the end zone. Cody wanted it. Now he's in trouble. There's a flag. He's going to throw. Finds Victor. Has the first down. But is there a hold here as Fajardo broke out of the pocket?
Certainly the location of the flag and timing makes you wonder.
Holding Edmonton number 69. 10-yard penalty will replay second down.
Brett Boyko, his right tackle.
And we'll keep an eye here on Boyko, just to the right of the upright in your shot. And that's one that becomes the challenge. We often talk about the offensive line, right? That one position in sports where you play with your back to the play. He couldn't see where his quarterback was, assumed he was in the pocket, and so that's the angle that he sets his body on to block.
Get it away to Arkell Smith. Up to the 45. This would be a long field goal attempt, but they will attempt it. Blanchard, 1 of 3 from outside 50 this year. This will be 52 yards to make it a 6-point game. Eric Brooks waits deep in the end zone. Blanchard puts that one up, has the line, and he smokes it through. That one would have been good from 60 at least. An important kick for the young kicker as he puts 3 on the board for Edmonton.
Here's Glenn going to work. It is complete. McDaniel for a go-ahead touchdown. Crosser, Larry Taylor, touchdown. From 48 now. They're moving up. He's going to miss. And the Calgary Stampeders are going to win a classic.
Yeah, the baby face. Mark Killam. I think he looks better with the beard. Been on the other side of this battle for pretty much 2 decades. Now he's calling the shots as the head coach for the visitors. Here's Adam. As he throws, that is up and out of bounds. As Adams bounces back up, Clark Barnes, not just yet. He went down heavy on the sideline.
And VA knows that hit's coming. He just fades away slightly to get the throw away. And watch Clark Barnes go airborne. Go up and get that football. Looked like he came down kind of hard on his left arm.
Vernon Adams, just 91 yards passing so far midway through the 3rd quarter. And under 50% completion rate. 2nd and 10. That one too high and falls incomplete. And the second 2 and out of the ball game for the Calgary Stampeders.
A good start here to the 3rd quarter for this Edmonton Elks defense. Getting to Adams on 1st down, forcing that 2nd and long situation.
Low driving kick will bounce 58 yards. Short return from Javon Lee. Curly Gittens Jr. over 100 yards on Labor Day last year. He leads the team with 46 today. Curly Gittens, 5 targets today, caught 3 of them for 46 yards, leads the team, and made an impact last year in this very game, Dwayne.
Yeah, Curly Gittens, a big one. This is a big part of the reason why the Edmonton Elks had traded for this guy, acquiring him from Toronto, ironically in exchange for Jake Serezna. Played the year in Toronto before coming back to Edmonton.
Serezna, by the way, out for the rest of this game, injured in the 1st half.
Curly Gittens, former Wilfrid Laurier University star. Part of that 2019 draft class. He, Keon Julian Grant, Bergie Mayala, amongst the receivers selected in the early going of that one.
Gittens 3 touchdowns this year. Over 500 yards now with what he's done so far in this game. 2nd and 5 for Fajardo. In trouble. Tracked down from behind. And Calgary's furious 4 on the defensive line get there again.
Fulara coming around the corner. Watch from the bottom of your screen, number 7 in black. Just gonna dip low, get underneath the blocker, Martez Ivy.
So a quick 2 and out for the visitors, their 2nd of the ball game. Julian, not much wind here today at all. That one hangs up there. 63-yard kick from Julian. Brooks on the return, trying to turn it back. Might have something cooking here. Brooks up to midfield. 1 man to beat, cuts it inside. The race is on. Stays on his feet to the 10. Touchdown, Brooks! A Labor Day classic indeed. 85 yards for Brooks in Calgary. Opens it up a bit more.
Eric Brooks. He had taken a bit of a break in recent weeks in the return game. Kalen Horton had dressed and had been in that role, but shuffling of the roster with some other receivers coming back this week puts Brooks back as the primary returner, and he makes the most of the additional touches, much to the chagrin of former Stampeder special team coordinator Mark Killam, now the Edmonton head coach.
Paredes, one more. Calgary on top by 13. Eric Brooks cut it back, and that was it. He was gone. Julian had a crack at him. Could not stop him. House call, Labor Day. Mark Killam is not happy. And we'll give you another look at why. First career return touchdown for Eric Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks, the second-year Stampeder, makes a couple of nice moves to get the coverage unit moving in the wrong direction, and then just turns on the jets and outruns a couple of Elks would-be tacklers. Flo Rimolade, who had a big sack on the last possession, last defensive series leading to the punt.
The 14th return touchdown in the league this season. There's been a bunch of them, and Brooks puts his name on that list. This guy can be dangerous at times as well. Leak trying to kick it up the near sideline, picks his way back up to the 50. An excellent 35-yard return from Leak.
A pretty good response. The Elks special teams unit there, getting the ball out near midfield. You see Rimolade.
Those sack numbers are pretty interesting when you only have 3. And they were getting a ton of pressure. It was weird that they only had 3 sacks.
Yeah, because the guys you talked about, Rimolade, Hicks, Hutchings, even early in the season, those guys were among the league leaders in pressures, but the sacks just weren't coming. It took a little bit of time to get those numbers going. And, you know, fortunately for the Calgary Stampeders, some of their most productive efforts in terms of getting after opposing quarterbacks came in those 2 games against the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Looks like Red got rolled up on a little bit. He remains down on the field. Now he's up. He's going to walk off. The thing with Calgary and the pressure, Dwayne, they seem to get a lot of it with just the 4 of them rushing.
Yeah.
They don't blitz as often as you would think for a defense that has put up the numbers that they've put up so far this year.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a good group, but we've talked a lot about, obviously, Rimolade, the veteran, a guy who, I mean, this has been his thing the last few years. He has been among the league leaders, lightning quick off the edge. You've seen Clarence Hicks take a big step forward in his second season. And Jalen Hutchings has been a monster, a guy who arrived late last year, got into a couple games late in the season, but this is a guy who is built to be an interior defensive lineman in the Canadian Football League.
Edmonton after the return from their own 50, Fajardo lays one up high, looking for Victor, who's 6'4", but he cannot climb that ladder.
We mentioned Victor getting his opportunity to see a little bit more action in the absence of the injured Stephen Dunbar. Cody Fajardo told us this week for the 6 weeks Stephen Dunbar is on the injured list. He is in the role of Coach Dunbar. You know, and I mean, between Cody, head coach Mark Killam, general manager Ed Hervey, talking to all of them this week, Stephen Dunbar was a guy that they all sort of pointed out as very important as a leader for this team. You know, consistent in his approach, desire to get better, keep working hard even when things weren't going that well at the start of the year. And other guys have sort of followed Stephen Dunbar's example basically more and more as the season has gone on, and it's been a big contributing factor to the Elks' recent success, coming into this one having won 3 games in a row.
Curly Gittins is up and off. Will not be out there for Fajardo on this big 2nd and 10. Edmonton 5 for 16 on 2nd downs so far this evening. Fajardo feeling the heat again, picks his way through that defensive line, at least for a moment, then they get there and take him down. Oh, they do not stop. Jalen Hutchings is there.
Hutchings starts off on the nose, right on the hash mark. You can see initially a couple of guys on him. He goes down to the turf, but as Cody Fajardo just can't find a clean straight line escape lane anywhere, him weaving around affords Jalen Hutchings the opportunity to recover as he works back towards the line and make a play.
7th sack of the year for Hutchings. Brooks, not this time. Clobbered down by Clements. We'll have a little bit more on Philpott, the former UFC Dino, when we return to McMahon. Well, let's flash it back. Jalen Philpott with the University of Calgary, an absolute stud at the youth sports level, ends up being a top 10 pick. For more on him, let's send it down to Tom Gazzola.
Dusty, Jalen Philpott said the Labor Day Classic means everything. You saw the footage there of him as a Dino. He developed a hatred for the green and gold very early. Of course, U of A Golden Bears. That has carried over into his time as a Stampeder. He says this game means so much to both cities, both fan bases. He's been educating all the new guys on his team that haven't played in this rivalry yet. He said he's very proud being perfect in those games as a Dino until his final year, where the Bears did beat the Dinos. He's still irritated by that, and he also pointed out that the Stamps did get swept by the Elks last season. It's been on all hands on deck for Philpott and the Stamps, and so far so good, you guys.
Thank you, Tommy. Calgary has challenged for a no yards. Let's get the ruling from Ben Major.
Calgary challenged the ruling on the last play. They believe there should have been a no yards penalty. Upon further review, the ruling on the field stands. So Calgary loses their challenge and a first team timeout. It's first down.
Take a look. And just looking at that space, pretty close to 5 yards, and the defender holding up, trying to back out of there. So the ruling stands. Good punt, tough starting position.
Dickinson 0 for 4 on challenges this year. They'll try to run it a couple of yards, maybe one, in the hands of Mills, who's been slowed. But Calgary really hasn't had the ball much in this half. They scored on the return touchdown. Outside of that, when they got this ball, they only had it for 53 seconds this entire quarter.
Yeah, not able to get much going offensively, not much opportunity. Eric Brooks supplying the points. You know, and maybe an opportunity here for the Edmonton Elks if their defense can come through with a 2 and out and maybe give their offense a short field to work with.
VA does not have a passing yard yet in the half. Edmonton's going to bring some heat. Adams steps up, he's under fire, and he's taken down after a short pickup on the ground, and Calgary will be forced to kick it away once again.
Well, Jared Brinkman among those in on the play, lined up right on the hash mark, working on the nose. C comes off that double team as Adams is forced out of the pocket.
Bassett stands in his own end zone. Could be good field position looming for the Elks. Great kick though. 59-yard boot. Up the middle, nowhere to go on the return for Leak. And he looks a little bit sore, but he'll bounce back up. Cody Fajardo heads back out onto the field.
And Cody Fajardo looking for a little more, trying to rally the troops. Getting fired up on the sidelines. Looking for a little more energy over there from the green and gold. Veteran quarterback supplying some leadership. This Edmonton team.
Not see Curly Gittins out there for now for Fajardo. 1st and 10 from his own 50. And once again, bottled up. Rankin. Stampeders defense all over it.
That looked like Miles Brown. Defensive tackle. Getting in on that play. Wilson, another one of the veterans brought in from Hamilton a couple weeks into the season.
Giddens on the sideline. Calgary rushes 3. Fajardo under pressure again, and he's taken down. Relentless all day. That time it's Wiley.
That possession was kind of a microcosm of the battle throughout the day between the Edmonton offense and the Calgary defense. You see the run get stopped on 1st down. Edmonton forced into a passing situation, 2nd and long, and it just becomes release the dogs for that Calgary front.
Julian called back into work. Got that one away just in time. Spirals down to Brooks, a 47-yard kick. And Brooks on the return brings it just past the 20. A short one for Brooks that time. NFL season kickoff right around the corner as the Cowboys take on the Eagles. Get ready as it all begins Thursday at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on TSN and CTV. Settle in for a little Thursday night football. Great rivalry there as well.
Do you like the Cowboys? I find people either like the Cowboys or they hate the Cowboys.
I'm actually indifferent on the Cowboys.
You are actually indifferent.
Yeah, I don't mind them from a fantasy perspective until Dak gets hurt. Then they're a mess pretty much the rest of the year.
Now, I know you're a big fantasy guy. Maybe we'll talk later about the Micah Parsons trade.
Mills, a couple of yards. Garnes in on the tackle.
Edmonton defense certainly doing its thing in the early portion of this second half, limiting the opportunities for Vernon Adams and his crew here in the 3rd quarter.
And VA doesn't pick up a passing yard here. 0 in the quarter, as Edmonton's defense has managed to get off the field, but their offense has done little with it as Calgary's outstanding defense continues to do the job. There's the completion for VA outside the 35. Gets it into the hands of the former Dino Philpott. Just his 2nd catch of the ball game, and some momentum for Calgary's offense at the end of the 3rd quarter. Stampeders leading 20-7 with 15 to play on Labor Day. Fourth quarter action coming up here at McMahon in Calgary. The Stampeders lead 20-7. Look at the time of possession, almost 11 minutes of possession for Edmonton in that 3rd quarter, but they got a field goal and they gave up a return touchdown, and they find themselves down by 13.
Yeah, well, that's the thing when you look a little more closely at the statistics, right? That they're skewed. Obviously, the return touchdown essentially takes away an offensive possession from Calgary. But in terms of Edmonton, yeah, they've done a decent job of moving the ball, staying on the field, but just not enough to show for it. Not finishing those drives. You know, one of the other pieces that stands out for me a little bit, as we had just talked about, Calgary stopping the run. Edmonton has more rushing yards in this game than Calgary. They have 80 rushing yards. About half of that, 38 yards, is Cody Fajardo scrambling, as opposed to the called run game. So it's a little misleading.
Stampeders with the ball to begin the quarter. And they'll get it into the hands of Philpott. Try to activate Jalen a little bit here at the end of this game.
Yeah, Philpott, a few nice runs last week against Saskatchewan, chipping in however he could in that game.
First touchdown of the season for him last week. He told us on a call earlier this week, Tyson was always the touchdown guy.
That's right.
That he always gets stopped short a yard or two.
Yeah, he's tired of handing over his touchdowns to Dedrick Mills, he said.
2nd and 5. Flags here. Adams with time. Now gets it away. Brooks wide open. And the tackle will be made by Metier. We'll see what this flag is.
Offside, Edmonton, number 54. Penalties declined. It's going to be first down.
Tyreek Johnson. Offside, penalty be declined with the completion to Brooks.
He might have lined up offside just on the right side of the screen. Meanwhile, Eric Brooks, pretty good day. Representing the Fresno State receivers. Canadian Football League, Eric Brooks, Carrick Wheatfall, Keyshawn Johnson.
That's popping up all over the place when you're prepping for games. Oh, Fresno State. Back on the ground, up to the 45. 3-yard pickup for Mills.
Don't want to leave out Winnipeg linebacker Kyrie Wilson, by the way, another Fresno State guy. Can't give all the love to the offensive guys.
I do like you having a massive wall in your home with every player in the league sorted into school they attended.
I try. I try.
Brooks, couple of catches, 32 yards, and his first career return touchdown today for Calgary. Adams gets it into the hands of Barnes. Good to see him back after he got banged up earlier in the half.
Barnes on the line of scrimmage, the one receiver. Two clearing in front of him. He ducks underneath. Easy bit of pitch and catch for he and VA.
Adams was stuck at 91 passing yards for most of the half. Up to 140 now with that touchdown. He's looked after the ball today. And now there's a flag beyond the secondary. Just been an issue with the clock.
On the last play, the 20-second clock never started. So we're going to reset the play. We'll restart the play. We'll reset the game clock to 12:25. Reset the play clock to 20. Thank you.
This yards per catch this year, 3 Stampeders in the top 5. Adams, big play VA for a reason, right?
Yeah, no, it speaks to the offense showing his personality.
Mills wrapped up by Jalen Garnes.
I mentioned Clark Barnes held to just 1 catch last week. Much busier day here in the Labor Day Classic. Hasn't been the home run ball that we've been somewhat accustomed to seeing. Number 14 catch this season. Barnes, a guy who was a steal in the 3rd round of 2023.
Clear things out for Adams this time. dumps one down to the 10. It's Rhymes. And a first down for Calgary. That's just his second catch of the game. The other one was for a touchdown. And this is Calgary's first trip inside the red zone today.
Dom Rhymes opening the scoring. Calgary, pretty good red zone team. VA, a very good red zone quarterback. 19-yard pickup there for Rhymes.
Rhymes to the sideline for a quick breather. Mills stands next to his quarterback. That's where they're going to go. Mills looking for space, pushing down towards the end zone. Almost there, but he's denied before he finds 6. Ends up with 7 yards on the carry.
It looked like the Elks were closing quickly, but just couldn't get to Dedrick Mills. Elks defender shot in off the edge, reading the play, but Mills was able to get far enough out upfield to escape the pursuit.
Metier making that stop at the 1. This is not good news for Edmonton. Niles Morgan, the center of this defense, in that middle linebacker position, down on the field. When he was swinging around his right leg, got hit, and he remains down. Would be a big loss for Edmonton.
Niles Morgan heading into the tent for further evaluation. Appeared to be a leg injury in the last play.
Quincy Vaughn looking for the end zone, lunging in, got it! Touchdown Calgary! Second of the season for Vaughn and the Stampeders in the driver's seat on Labor Day.
Quincy Vaughn once again slides to the right, finds a soft spot, drives forward behind that offensive line.
Calgary will go for 2, try to make it a 21-point ball game. Adams gives it to Mills, bounces off some contact and finds his way in for 2 more. And the party is on at McMahon. A 10-play, 90-yard drive that took over 5 minutes. The touchdown and 2 points for Mills. The Women's Rugby World Cup continues on Saturday as Canada plays Scotland at 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 3:30 a.m. Pacific. You can catch all that action, of course, on TSN. Second touchdown of the year for Quincy Vaughn and his team on top, 28-7. Looking to remain perfect against the West. Arkell Smith on the return. Takes it out just beyond the 35 as Cody Fajardo back onto the field. And good news, Curly Gittens Jr. will come with him.
Yeah, Gittens, who's been an important part of this Edmonton offense today. checking back in after being banged up. Could be the guy they look to for a big play shot as time is starting to work against the Elks a little bit with the Stamps extending their lead.
There's 218 yards of offense for Edmonton so far against a stingy Calgary D. Fajardo across. Onyeka with the coverage. Hilaire with the catch. It's his team leading 4th if it stands. First 4 catches of his CFL career.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Incomplete pass.
And we have the evidence to support that ruling.
Can't argue that one.
No. Another 2nd and long for the Elks. See what Calgary's got up their sleeve defensively here. Dave Dickinson.
We're going to reset the game clock to 9:28, please. 9:28.
With the ruling of incomplete pass, clock should have stopped.
Calgary just sends 3. Fajardo still in trouble. Goes to Rankin on the far side, but he's got nothing. Wilson, among others, there defensively for Calgary, and a long day for Edmonton's offense continues.
Yeah, and that's just a situation from a Calgary defensive point of view, that's a catch you're going to let them have, right? 4th quarter, under 10 minutes to go, 3-score ball game. We'll let you throw it to the running back behind the line of scrimmage all day.
Julian drops one in, and it'll bounce over the 30 and the 25. Brooks spins it back, but he's got nowhere to go. Sun setting in Calgary and on Edmonton too. CFL will be back on Friday as the Lions take on the Red Blacks. Coverage will get underway at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN. First half of a home and home between those 2 clubs. Big crossover implications in those 2 games.
Yes. I mentioned recently how much I hate the playoff format.
Not today.
No, not today.
Not since the broadcast started.
I mentioned it last night at dinner.
You mentioned it before the game today as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Back on the ground, of course. 9 more for Mills. Let's take a look at your current standings. This is probably the wrong thing to put up when you were just talking about playoff format.
Got me so mad.
Blood
Dustin.
boils a little bit
so
more.
Angry. Big win for the Toronto Argonauts in rather dramatic fashion earlier today over their rivals, the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Calgary looking to turn that 7 into an 8 by finishing the job. Here's an Ike. Need a yard. Mills turning ahead. He'll get a yard and a first down for Calgary.
Stampeders at this point just happy to keep that clock running. Grind it out as much as they can, limit the risk.
Calgary, brilliant defensive performance again. They allow just 20.7 points per game. So far this season, they've held Edmonton to just 7. 2 field goals and a missed field goal for a single. 100-yard game for Dedrick Mills, his second of the year.
Yeah, terrific cutback here. Presses it front side. Sees a little daylight back to the right. Terrific pickup there for the Calgary running back.
Mills, a workhorse for this Stampeders offense. Goes for a well-deserved rest. It's a season high on Labor Day for Dedrick Mills. Choquette into the game, and he'll get a couple of yards. And a late flag at the end of this play.
We've seen a few moments of animosity out there between these two teams. Never surprising.
Not as nasty as I thought it might be, though.
There's still 5.5 minutes.
Yeah. Calgary's dominance of the West has just been something else so far this year.
We've got a misconduct penalty. Calgary number 54. We'll go back 10 yards from the end of the play. It's going to be second down.
The offensive lineman, Joshua Coker. Calgary 5-0 against the Bombers and Riders. Now they get Edmonton. They'll play Edmonton again. They got 2 left against BC. And then even after next week, they got the 1 more against Edmonton. So 2 more against Edmonton, 2 more against BC.
Yep.
And so far, nobody in the West has been able to hand them an L. Goes back to Choquette. Barlow makes the tackle. That'll bring up third down, and they'll be forced to kick it away with 5 minutes left on the clock.
And now would be the time where the Edmonton Elks need that big play that Chesney alluded to at halftime. Keep talking about it on offense, but perhaps Javon Lee, with his 6 career punt return touchdowns, might be the guy to supply it.
Bassett gets it away. It's a low kick. That one will bounce at the 25 and will roll out of bounds 46 yards. You see a group of fans there from Edmonton. We brought them down with my company, Edmonton Sports Talk. They probably would have liked a better trip so far. Sorry about that.
Welcome to Calgary. Thank you. Can I have a hug?
Yeah.
Welcome to Calgary. Enjoy the game.
Welcome to Calgary. Enjoy the game.
Look at the greeter. I love it.
Probably would have liked a touchdown. Haven't got one yet, but they're having a good time. They'll go back safely on a couple of buses tonight.
How come you didn't hug that guy?
Well, you know, that guy works for me, and he's a little annoying, and didn't want to give him a hug.
I understand. Strictly business.
But you know what?
Now
the Elks hadn't done this in a while.
Important question. Is supersize Indiana Jones there? Is he with you?
That guy's nickname, he's with us. His nickname is Big Uke. If you could...
That's all I need to know.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. But yeah, the Elks hadn't done Labor Day buses in a couple of years, so we teamed up with them and got a couple of buses full. And I mean, they would have liked a better result, but I think they're having a good time.
Well, there's always the rematch, and Big Uke looks like he's having a hell of a time. So
I don't think I've ever seen that guy not have a good time. So I think folks at FanDuel had set the odds of that shirt coming undone. Well, minus 400 in this one.
17, please. 317.
Well, you mentioned they go at it again here. Turn things around. Calgary's defense, this is not a one-off for Calgary's defense. Defense has been outstanding all year.
Yeah.
If you're Edmonton, how do you turn it around when you head up the highway to Commonwealth?
Yeah, and this back-to-back, you know, and kind of a short week, not as short as it used to be in the days when the games used to be Monday and Friday. But the quick turnaround. Typically, in terms of game planning, you're almost kind of planning a lot of the time for 2 games at once, and you know, so it'll be interesting to see what wrinkles each of these 2 teams comes back with for the second game.
Jacob Roberts making another play for the Calgary defense. A frustrating day for that man. Mark Killam spent 2 decades on the Calgary side of this. Taking it on the chin today. Welcome back to Calgary. Labor Day, week 14 just around the corner. BC and Ottawa will get it started on Friday, and then they call it Super Saturday. Triple header, Hamilton, Montreal, the Banjo Bowl, and then Calgary and Edmonton back up at Commonwealth.
That is a Super Saturday.
It is, isn't it? It really is. Been a long Monday for Fajardo as he's knocked down again. Ed Hervey not happy with this one.
There's Waldo.
Where? I can't see him. That guy's got to be sweaty. He's got a scarf on. 27 degrees at kickoff. Cooled down a little bit, but a great crowd here at McMahon for Labor Day, as expected.
Pretty good momentum here in Calgary from a fan point of view. Over 28,000 last week with the Saskatchewan Roughriders in town. Big crowd here again today for another big rivalry game.
On the verge of going 5-2 at home. Hopefully it leads to a few more good crowds for the Stampeders. Down the push. And they'll pick that one up. Harkel Smith, first down.
Makes the catch, nice run after, able to get the shoulders north-south. Taking on the tacklers.
Fajardo dumps it off to Rankin, and he is hit by Roberts. Jacob Roberts has definite star potential for a long time in this league. 8 tackles today, all over the place.
Yeah, and we touched on it a little bit last week. You know, a lot of changes, obviously, to the Calgary defense. A lot of great players, quite frankly, left Calgary, but the newcomers have stepped up.
Julian Grant's got it at the 15, down to the 10. His first catch of the day. Takes it down inside the 5 with just over 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, Stampeders. Again, given the situation, playing a little bit soft, not wanting to let anything behind them. Okay, on Julian Grant, able to find an opening in that coverage. A nice chunky yardage.
8th play of this late drive for Edmonton. 3 options out to the wide side right for Cody. Fitting fashion, he's under pressure and taken down again.
Stutter step that time from Clarence Hicks. Throwing off the timing of the tackle, Ivy.
Another sack for Hicks. 2nd and goal from the 9 now for Fajardo. Takes off, going to try to do it himself, and he'll be stopped short down at the 2. They'll be going for it, 3rd and goal. It's the 6th time today they've gone for it on 3rd down. They're 5 for 5 so far.
Timeout, Edmonton.
Killam will call a timeout. What a perfect way to wrap up a long weekend if you're a Stamps fan at this game today. What a roar from McMinn late in this one. Full control. Can they stop Fajardo one more time? They will. They'll strip it away. Bouncing around, and Calgary's defense delivers again. Jalen Hutchings.
And Cody Fajardo hit hard on that play and slow to get up. That being the biggest concern for the Edmonton Elks in this moment. Ball turned over, but I'm sure they'll taking a look on their quarterback over on the sideline. Jacob Roberts on the blitz delivers the shot just as Fajardo tries to cock the ball back to throw.
Cody Fajardo sacked 4 times today, but it seems like they've got 10 sacks. Like they've been in his face the entire game.
Yeah, and particularly here in the second half with the Elks kind of chasing the game a little bit in terms of trying to get some points on the board. Fajardo has been under siege.
Calgary's defense today bent a little bit, but never even came remotely close to breaking. Back to Choquette on the ground. And Vernon Adams about to go to 8-2 as the starting quarterback of the Calgary Stampeders. And you know, we talked a lot about the defense and the changes that were made, and this is why Calgary goes from where they were last year to what they are right now. Because yes, Vernon Adams, great addition. Changes on defense have all been great. Elevating some rookies into second-year spots. You're not going to have that much of an improvement unless you got both of those things going, right? And that's what they've managed to do this year.
Yep. Yeah, and a big special teams contribution today as well. Eric Brooks, kick return touchdown.
It's been a long day for that man, Cody Fajardo. Let's take a look at the book of work from this Stampeders front four.
Yeah, as you said, it's not always sacks, but a whole lot of pressure, a number of hits. And certainly on occasion, running for his life.
Well, they're just relentless. Like, if they don't get him the first time, all 3 guys are just right back on him immediately. Well, there's no time to reset if you're Fajardo.
Yeah, and it becomes like a snowball rolling downhill, just gathering momentum. Defensive line feeds off their own success.
Arkell Smith at midfield. And a bold move by our truck, but they are going to give Calgary the win officially. And here's a look at the updated standings. And a nice little race at the top right there.
It certainly is. Saskatchewan Roughriders, of course, with that dramatic victory over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers last night. That one has a return match on Super Saturday as well.
Back to Arkel Smith for Fajardo. Calgary come away here 28-7.
Yeah, and obviously a big win for the Stampeders. They continue their West Division dominance. You know, and for as good as they've been this year, you know, it all might have been a little tarnished. Losing at home to the hated rivals from Edmonton here on Labor Day. So I think a win that's important in that regard as well. But I'll reiterate, these two teams play again twice more this season, once in a few days. And consistency is going to be the key. We'll see if the Stampeders can deliver once again, and see how the Edmonton Elks bounce back as they try to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Final play of the game. Fajardo will dump it off to Rankin one last time. Takes it down to the 20, and that'll do it. The Calgary Stampeders continue to roll perfect against the West and victorious at home on Labor Day. A couple of classics on Labor Day, and we wrapped it up here with a Labor Day clobbering by the Calgary Stampeders defense, holding Edmonton to just 7 points. They will do it again in Edmonton 5 days from now, but the Calgary Stampeders continue to look like legitimate contenders. 28-7 your final. Thank you for joining us on Labor Day weekend. Sports Center is next with Matt Scooby, Wesley Chang.